Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a first responder?
Today we're going behind the scenes with the Statesville Police and Fire Departments, and we're going to break down the program for the Public Safety Academy and how you can get involved.
Welcome to Front and Center, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on government operations, offering you an exclusive glimpse into the inner workings of the city of Statesville.
Welcome back. I'm so glad to be here today with my fabulous co-host, Nikayla Griffin.
Hello.
And we have a couple of veterans here on the podcast with us today. I know you guys have seen these two before. We have Fire Marshal Pete Morrison, and we have Corporal Chan Austin, who is over our crime prevention. And today, Nikayla, we're going to rock this and talk about Public Safety Academy.
It's so
because
fun.
This is our second annual program this year. It's typically just been police, but last year we started including fire, and we're going to jump in.
Yep.
Let's go.
The best thing that we added was fire, so I'm excited.
Pete's agreeing.
Yeah. So for those who are not familiar with what the Public Safety Academy is, could somebody just tell what it is or why it was created?
Yeah, so kind of the Public Safety Academy goes back actually to 2006. The Statesville Police Department started our first Police Citizens Academy in 2006 and run those through about 2022. Then we got to brainstorming a little bit. I think me and April and a few of our guys at the fire department started the idea of doing a Public Safety Academy encompassing police and fire. I thought it was a great idea. And so last year was our first time we had tried it in 2024, Public Safety Academy, and I thought it went really well. So we kind of branched out, and we're covering more public safety than just police only. So we get to do police and fire, which I really enjoyed last year.
It was good. It was good.
It was great.
I think the participants had a great time too,
did.
because they
No, they
got to see
absolutely
both
did.
sides of public safety.
Right.
How do you think it benefits the community and the departments, both your departments?
Yeah.
So I think it gives like a firsthand experience, into what we do, what the police department does and what the fire department does. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes type things that people don't see,
Right.
and this Citizens Academy gives them a chance to have a look into it.
That's good. So we know that the academy runs for about 8 weeks, 8 strong weeks, from April 10th to June the 5th. What can the participants expect to come out of this class, and what's the structure, how the weekly lessons structure?
Right. Yeah, so we do Thursday nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So the classes run usually around 3 hours. And the way we broke it up last year, and we'll do the same this year, is we'll do 4 weeks with police and 4 weeks with fire. And so we kind of even it up like that. So we'll do 2 weeks of police, then 2 weeks of fire, 2 weeks police, and 2 weeks of fire. So you kind of get it, a little bit throughout the whole 8 weeks, rather than everything up front or everything on the backside of it. So we kind of space it out like that, which I think works very well. So you'll get, like Pete says, you'll get some hands-on activities that we do. You'll get in-class instruction and like that behind the scenes. I know, like from the police department perspective, and I think the fire department does it too. We have things like a ride-along where they can kind of come in and see. But it just gives them a chance to ask questions and kind of pique their curiosities if they're curious about something or want information about something. It's a great time to get that information and see it firsthand.
Good.
We've kind of talked about the main goals of the Academy being that you want them to get that behind-the-scenes look, but what do you hope these participants gain from the Academy? What are you looking for people to come work? Are you just what are you looking for here?
Well, I'm not throwing that out there for people to come work that, and sometimes that may be the case. They may get into it and say, "Oh, well, maybe I want a career change. Maybe I want to be with police or fire."
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. That's what we're doing, or at least getting the word out there. Hey, this is what they do.
Right.
This is a deeper understanding.
Right.
Of what the police and fire departments do, and it may spark some interest in some folks. So yeah, it's a great thing and learning experience for those folks.
That's awesome.
So it's not always like Chicago Fire or Chicago PD that I watch.
It's exactly like that.
Well,
Move on to the police topics.
So the police department, we have a wide range of curriculum that we, cover, from topics with like community policing, the SRT, special response team. Can you highlight something that that's real engaging. I know one that I saw. I can't remember. I think they drive with the go-karts or something. Did they do
We've done that before,
Yeah.
on the simulator.
Yeah. So
Is that the beer goggles?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. I never make it with that.
Yeah, so we do things like that. So that was been the hardest thing for me coming out, having an 8-week class that you had to prepare for 8 weeks. So we put a lot of things in 8 weeks. So we've had to narrow it down to 4 weeks. So we've actually had to take some stuff out that we would normally do. So that's been the hardest thing for me, is trying to say, hey, what would we keep in? What do we take out? But I think the stuff that we've kept in, I mean, it's just very good information. It's very hands-on. It piques a lot of questions and interest from that. But probably the things that the class members like the most is the shoot, don't shoot scenarios that we do with the simulator. Obviously the ride along, because that's one of the feedbacks we get is, man, I didn't know all this stuff went on in Statesville. I've never, what is this? What is all this? And it's like, hey, you got your eyes open. So we get some feedback like that. We do some of the you like the canine demonstrations that you love.
Absolutely.
The canine demonstrations, the SWAT team demonstrations. And then just overall, we kind of started out with, how does the police department operate? I mean, we have budgets, we're tax funded, we're a city government, so these things have got to be funded somehow. So we cover that, crime mapping analysis, crime rates and those type of things. So we cover a lot of information in the four nights that you're with the police department, and the same with the fire department as well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You talked about the canine unit. That is definitely Nikayla's favorite night, is when you do canine. But do I get to go out there and roll around and play with the dogs? Do they get to bite my arm? What does that consist of?
We in past, and I don't know if anybody took
Kayla.
I don't know if anybody took them up on it last year, but we actually do have a bite sleeve that you can actually put on your arm, and you can take a bite from a dog. So
No, thanks.
We've had people do that, and we've had class members do that. So
There are waivers involved.
Yeah, there are waivers involved.
Right, yeah.
But the cool thing this year, we're introducing some new technology at the police department through virtual reality. So
Okay.
we do have some
good.
virtual reality that I'm going to try to put into this class. So I think that's going to be pretty neat
that's
to
gonna
see
be
them
fun.
participate and try to go through some of the
It's
scenarios.
fun watching my kid at home with virtual reality
Yeah.
whenever he sets his boundaries and still walks into the walls. So, okay.
Yeah, so that would be interesting for sure.
It'll be fun. Oh, that's funny. So, how do you feel that the academy improves the public's trust with the police department,
Yep.
and also relationships between law enforcement and the community?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you get real-time information on what's going on in the city. You get to ask real questions of the day-to-day police. We talked about Chicago police, Chicago
Yeah.
fire, those type of, a lot of that stuff. There is some truth and reality to
Right.
that. However, a lot of that is, made up. Things don't happen that fast.
Yeah.
In that time
And
of
that
manner.
often.
And that often.
Please.
Yeah.
Commercial breaks.
Exactly. Yeah.
It gives the public a chance to see the inner workings. That hey, we're human too. We have
Yeah.
a job. We're there. And kind of you get to know the officers. You get to know the instructors. So you have that personal connection with the department. And we just want to be open to the public. Hey, this is what we do. This is our motto. This is our mission. These are the things we have happening. We have a lot happening in Statesville, and I think a lot of people don't realize what we do behind the scenes.
That's right.
Police and fire.
Right.
So it opens their eyes, hopefully, and lets them know that we are working behind the scenes a lot of time to hopefully prevent crime, deter crime, and just make those connections with people in the community, all the way from kids all the way up to our older population.
Yeah, that's good.
So, with you saying that, my opinion is, we talk about misconceptions about the police department, and I think that's one of the biggest things is that people think police are just solely for enforcement.
Right.
Is that what you would say as well for misconceptions?
I think
And what
that's-
maybe we can clear up with this academy?
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones. The biggest misconceptions is, the only time you ever see, a lot of times you say, the only time you ever see us is when something bad happens.
Right.
And that's what we don't want. You want to see us on your good days and your bad days. We're going to see you on your bad days typically,
Right.
but we want to see you on your good days also. And we want those positive interactions and relationships with members of the community. And, like me and Nikayla work together a lot doing our community fun days and going to cookouts and all kind of different things. So we get to see another side of the community, and hopefully they get to see another side of us. And that's the end goal.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Let's talk about the fire department.
I know.
do it.
Let's get hot. Let's get it hot.
I love it.
Okay, so can you walk us through a few of the topics that the fire department will be covering this year within the academy?
Right. So, a lot of people, have that same misconception like we were talking about earlier. We just put fires out. That's
Right.
it.
That's it. Yeah.
But the fire department is
not.
much more. If they don't know who to call, they call the fire
Call the
department.
fire
If the police department's not the answer, the
They'll
fire
call
department's who
it,
they're going to call. So we do anything from hazardous materials, technical rescues. We do. We do a lot of training as far as education in the community, just alongside Chan, alongside the police department.
do.
And we try to get same with him, all the way from kids all the way up to our senior folks. All that education, the enforcement, the investigations that we have to do, because believe it or not, the fire department has to do investigations as well.
Right.
A little bit different than the police department, but we have to look in and see how a fire started. So there's tons of different topics that we're going to go over in this.
Okay. It's gonna
And
be
every
fun.
firefighter is EMT certified. Is that correct?
Correct. So
I mean, there's many times that you guys get there before the paramedics.
Before the
Yeah,
paramedics,
paramedic.
yeah. In most cases, we do. Everybody is at least a medical responder, if not EMT. So we do probably 80% of our call volume is the medical
Wow.
side of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, people do not realize that.
Exactly,
I mean,
yeah,
that
and-
you do so much
much
medical
more, Right. yeah.
as compared to fire.
And I think like when you talk about like that, so when you see a fire truck going down the road, running lights and siren,
Right.
probably the majority of the time they're not going to a fire.
Right.
They're
The
going to a
majority of the
They're
time,
going
not
And that's
to-
why
going
I
to
can't, it's hard for me to grasp it,
yeah.
but a lot of medical calls.
Yeah.
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 All right. So technical rescue. Okay.
I did mention that.
This is interesting. Are you going to throw somebody in a hole and somebody has to pull them out, or what are we talking here? What
We
is
absolutely
this?
will. That's the beautiful hands-on experience of things. So if somebody in this academy is up for it, we will do that. We actually have training props at different stations.
Oh, wow.
And we can actually put them on a tripod and send them down through the hole, all rigged up, and learn them, teach them how to tie ropes and different knots and the different things that we use. That's not to mention, everybody's heard of the Jaws of Life. Of course, you see that on Chicago Fire, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another hands-on, another hands-on experience that we can give them is to show them what those tools do,
Yeah. Right.
and actually let them lay hands on them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it's not to mention, there's confined space. There's
That's scary.
we're swift water rescue, which we can't really do that unless we take them to a river or something.
Yeah.
We're not getting that in depth.
We're not, yeah.
Hey, we have what's that lazy river? No, what's that thing
Hey,
called?
that's right.
Where?
At
Out of the pool.
Oh,
the
yeah.
rec center, at the rec
There
center.
you
You think you make that water go a little
Yeah.
faster?
Oh,
Put
God.
the waves in it.
That would be good.
That water was cold
We need to
not too
set
long
that
ago. I
up.
can tell
I
you
bet
that.
you,
Yes,
yeah.
you did
it
jump
was-
in that water,
I know
didn't
you
you?
did.
Yeah.
You did a good job, too. So with all those hands-on training, I know they'll train in areas like CPR and hazmat training, and you'll do live exercises. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about that they'll be doing, that what they can expect?
Right, so they'll be able to take away some things that they can actually go back and use
Okay.
if the needs be. And like you mentioned, CPR. We actually, several of us just got certified to be instructors in
Oh,
CPR.
wow.
Yeah, and
that's
so
good to know.
Right. So yeah, and so we'll offer that to the community in different
Okay,
places.
good.
And
Yeah, that's great to
and
know.
so those are some of those real world experiences that you'll be able to actually lay hands on, and you learn CPR. God forbid, I hope you never have to use it.
Right,
But if you do, you'll have that. And the same thing with there's some fire behavior stuff we'll go over and how fire works.
Okay.
And in case they're out there with their campfire and can't figure out how to put it out and different things.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you that wouldn't be me because I do not camp.
Me
No
neither.
camping here.
You don't like marshmallows?
Over the fire pit at home.
Well,
We can
exactly.
glamp.
I mean, hey,
We're
that's
gonna go glamping, April.
There we go.
Glamping.
That's perfect. Yes.
glamping. Yeah, I like that better. I like
us.
that better.
So, what's one of the most valuable lessons you think people will take away from the fire portion of the academy? I know we've talked a lot about this, but I mean, there are key lessons. I mean,
Sure. Yeah. So the biggest thing is, when you see the fire truck go down the road, it's not just one person on it. There's 4 people on it, at least 4 people on it. So we work in a team atmosphere, and it's the same way hand in hand with the police. They work in teams as well. So I think the teamwork aspect of things is going to kind of bring it all together for folks as they go through the academy and see how it works on that rope. Hey, one person can't do this. We need help.
right.
Right.
Look, if you put me down in that hole and think I'm going to pull myself back out, think again, you're not going to be dragging me back out because I'm not getting out of it. So I don't care if you do give me a rope. How about you, Kayla?
No. We're white girls. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about who should apply.
Right. So as much as I know that you guys would want April not in your class, we can't do it. Who would be your ideal candidates, or who would who would you feel that would be great candidates for the academy? And should you be considering a career? Should they be considering a career in public safety, or can they just come?
Yeah, so we've had through the years, I've had from like 18-year-old all the way up to 80 in the class. I mean, so it's a broad range of folks and reasons for why they want to join the class and be in the class. We do get those that, hey, I'm interested in a career in law enforcement, and this kind of gives me an inside look because I'm interested in working for the city of Statesville in some form or fashion, either fire or police. So we welcome them to come and see the insides or behind the scenes of how the department operates. So that's probably one of our main goals is if you're wanting a career, but it's just for those citizens that are wanting to know more about, hey, how does the police operate? How does the fire operate? I'm curious. I see all this equipment. I see these cars and trucks going down the road. I see you guys out, so I'm just curious on, how does the departments operate? So we give them that inside look, like Pete says, and then kind of broadens their horizon and their knowledge of the department and what we do. So anybody that wants to have a job, get a job, or has just an interest in public safety as a whole, we welcome them to apply and come join us.
Yeah, and we have some folks like you were talking about, at large age ranges. You have some folks like we'll actually put them in gear and let them actually pull hoses off the truck and things of that nature. So and some folks don't want to do that. So like we had an individual last year, he said, well, I don't really want to do that, but I would like to see how you get water out of this truck, and that really interests him because there's a lot to it. I mean, some of those drivers have to do a hydraulic equation in their head to know how much water to get out of the pump. so it's pretty interesting stuff.
Is there a calculator on the side of that?
Well, most of them carry dry erase markers. That way they can.
Oh, wow.
No,
That's still
I need a calculator.
I'm counting fingers and toes.
Right.
All right, so if I sign up for the class, what's the commitment? What am I looking at here?
So basically what you're looking at is 8 weeks. So we have 8 weeks of instruction of class time, and then our 9th week is a graduation ceremony where we come together, have a nice meal together with the instructors, some of the folks from the academy. Then your family comes and they can enjoy a meal. So that's really nice. But it's a commitment of 8 weeks, 6 to 9 p.m. on Thursday night, so 3 hours a week. 1 day a week.
That's not bad at all.
We would like full participation for the whole 8 classes, but we also know that people work. Some things come up, sickness, those type of things. So we don't require 100% participation to complete the class. We would like that, but we understand if you have to miss a class for life, because life happens. But basically 3 hours a week for 8 weeks.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. So are there any physical requirements for participants, especially with the hands-on fire things?
So not necessarily. Like I said, it can be, like I was talking earlier, some people want to put the gear on, some don't, and that's fine. That's okay. I mean, you can actually watch the demonstrations and such. We have, I know that PD has a drone program, and so do we, and they get to see some of those things if you don't want to actually lay hands on the equipment and such.
Okay.
Have you ever had, now Chan, have you ever had anyone that did not want to do the simulation with the gun and shooting?
No, we've not had any.
I was going to say,
I've had a bunch that didn't want to take the bite from the dog. I mean, I've got that.
Yeah, I get that.
If you put the gun in their hand for the simulation, they love that, going through that. So.
And did everyone put on the turnout gear and everything last year? Come on now. Did everybody put on the turnout gear?
I mean, everybody did initially. Now it's when it comes time to actually work and it's hard to move in that stuff. And it really does.
And
it gives you
the hose out there spraying down that airplane.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly. And
Wow.
it's you get hot in a hurry. In that stuff, right, Nikayla?
Yeah. Real hot. Real hot.
All right. So, are there stipulations on this program? Who's eligible to apply? Are there requirements that you have to meet?
18 years of age or older. We prefer City of Statesville residents to apply, but we do open up to Ardo County.
Okay.
So if you're City of Statesville, Ardo County, you can apply. Obviously, due to the nature of the things we discuss, we do background checks. So we'll screen those when we get those in.
Okay.
and go through the background just to make sure they're good to go on the background side of it. And then, like we say, is like come to the class and have fun and learn.
So how many people can participate in this program, in the academy? I'm sorry.
I've had anywhere from 8 to 16 in a class throughout the years. Last year's academy, I believe, had 9. We graduated 9 out of that academy. Our optimal, I mean, I always say like 12 to 15 is a good size class, but we've kind of discussed we could probably manage to do 20 up to 20 in a class. That's a lot for a class, but we could probably manage 20. But that's kind of just a roundabout. I guess that'd be a good problem to have if we have over 20 people.
Right, if we have over, it would be a great problem to have.
We can accommodate, I think, that many. But
20 is a manageable number. We can still teach with that.
Yeah.
All right. So how do I apply? What's the deadline?
Yeah. So April has put it on the City of Statesville website. So you can go to www.statesvillenc.net. Go under I think it's on the main page.
It is under the quick links. Yep.
So you can see the Public Safety Academy, the image there, and then the information. Just click on the application. It'll send you to the application. You can apply and look something like that if you can see it.
That's pretty simple.
It is.
Nothing
So apply,
bad.
it comes to me. Then we get them. We would do the background checks, and then we will contact them if they are approved for the class.
And we're asking people to submit by, I think, April 2nd?
I believe April 2nd.
2nd or 3rd, I think.
2nd or 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, the Friday.
Because the
usually
class
Friday
starts on the
before.
10th, we usually try to have them in a week prior to the class start so we know how many we got for the class so we can plan accordingly for the class.
That's good.
Yep.
So April and I are on the fence about joining the class. We don't know what to do right now. How could you persuade us? Well, what would you say to someone that really is on the fence about joining?
Well, from my perspective, and I'll let Chan speak on his. But folks that really want a deeper understanding of what police and fire do. If they're thinking, well, I don't really want to get hands on and get involved in all that stuff. Well, you don't necessarily have to. We're not going to twist your arm and make you do all the things that we do. And by all means, this is not as far as from a fire standpoint, we're not putting you through. The gauntlet that firefighters have to go through to get the job. However, you'll get to see that sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's a really cool thing to watch, and see how firefighters do it. Same with you, right, Chan?
It is. Yeah, so you're not going to come through the class and be certified to be a police officer or anything like that.
Right.
You have to go through all that.
I have to give my badge back.
Have to give your badge back. Got to get that back.
Right.
But it does give you a deeper understanding. So if you're on the fence, go ahead and jump on the side of the fence and come on and join us, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
It is. It's a good time.
I went through the police academy and it was great. I mean, the people, you make new friends. It's fun. I mean, you meet officers, you meet the command staff, you meet everybody, and I mean, you come out with new friends that you've made in this class because you've all done all these things together. So it's like a little group, and you see them out.
Family.
You may not ever see them, but every once in a while, but hey,
Right, exactly.
I know you. Yes, I mean it is fun, and I haven't
awesome.
done the fire portion, so.
So you're doing it this year, right?
So maybe we'll
got
look
it.
into
Right.
it.
We
got it.
Yeah.
Do the
Come
fire
on.
portion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, I
I'll
can't
be
say
there.
thank you enough for braving it and coming back on the show again. This is not your first
Yes,
trip. We
thank
appreciate y'all very much. We're looking forward to this academy. I know you guys put a lot of work into it, and it is a lot of work, and it's 4 weeks of, like I said, intense police, and then also 4 weeks of intense fire.
Right.
So we'll be on the fence still probably about April 2nd. No, I'm just kidding.
It'll be a fool.
Yeah.
We'll get y'all's applications on April
We-
Fool's
we-
Day. Yeah, that's right.
We really hope the class fills up
Yes.
this year.
Yeah.
It
I
was
hope
great
so.
last
That'd be
year.
great.
Everybody had fun. The pictures are hilarious.
They
Some
are,
of them are
yeah.
just great. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell these people are having fun. And we had
Absolutely.
men and women,
Right,
young
correct.
and old.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
mean, we just want everybody to come out, join in,
Yeah.
see what it takes to be a
awesome.
public safety officer or a public responder.
Right.
A safety, what do you call it? A safety
responder.
First responder. First responders, yeah.
I got this all messed up. Y'all been
you
talking
got
Public
it.
Safety Academy and so many different words.
Yeah.
You know, my brain goes 300 miles an hour. But thanks again. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you are interested in joining the Public Safety Academy for 2025, please visit statesvillenc.net. Click on the Public Safety Academy under the quick links. Fill out that application, and we look forward to seeing you when the class starts. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Tune in to the next episode as we share our dedication to transparency, public service, and governance, shining a spotlight on our commitment to keeping you well informed about all things City of Statesville.